I know, right?
I think you follow us everywhere.
We can start, Ty.
Coming to you live tonight from Cumberland Valley High School. We're out of county tonight as Cumberland Valley hosts Central York today. Big matchup in District 3 6A due. These two teams ranked in the top 10, 2 versus 6 actually, right here on the hardwood at this historic venue in Cumberland Valley.
Yeah, Cumberland Valley is a great place to have a basketball game, especially for these two teams. Come in with almost identical records. Cumberland Valley at 16-2. Central York at 15-5, so it should be a really good matchup. But, you know, Cumberland Valley comes in a little bit hobbled, and so does Central York with not having Ethan Dodson, who's been the senior leader, who's been out since Game 5.
I talked to Ethan pregame, hoping maybe to get back into districts and playoff run. Still unsure of his status. 2 players that we will not see for Cumberland Valley tonight include Dylan Levis and Jackson Boone. They will not be playing tonight, and they're key contributors to the Cumberland Valley Eagles.
Absolutely. Think about Jackson Boone. He's 6'6", so you can't. When you miss a guy like 6'6", you know that's going to hurt a little bit. But looking at the schedule, looking at the roster for Cumberland Valley, they have a lot of 6-foot players. They know how to play. They're 16-2 for a reason. They're not it's not no cakewalk, especially playing at home. And how about this dome, Todd?
Take a look at this dome. If you can zone in on this, it's what a complex. A great facility, and still plenty of time for you to come out tonight if you want to join us. Otherwise, watch in the comfort of your own home tonight with your bottled water and popcorn and settle in. You talked about some big men for Central. They have a couple big guys as well, Greg Gittinger and Ben Rill.
Yeah, Greg Gittinger and Ben Rill having an awesome season. Ben just came off of scoring 38 points, I believe, against Southwestern, so he's been red hot so far. Greg Gittinger is still consistent as always, since a freshman, putting up some big-time points, always first team YIAA. He's doing a great job. And also Ben Natal. Ben Natal, their shooting guard, is doing a great job as well, averaging 14 points per game. And then there's also 2 freshmen that Central York sports, which is not too common to have a point guard freshman and also another another freshman in the name of Brooklyn Nace and the point guard, Ryan Brown Jr.
Ryan Brown Jr. And this team comes in here tonight. Should be a great matchup, and maybe this will be a preview of a district game down the road.
Oh, absolutely. You almost got to assume that these two teams are going to meet each other at some type of capacity down the road. It's district time. This is almost the end of the regular season, and it's going to be a real good one. You know, a lot of teams are finishing up, and some teams are upsetting some of these star teams, you know, just to shake things up in the district rankings.
And Central will return home tomorrow to close out their regular season schedule with a game against the Northeastern Bobcats tomorrow night at Central.
Which is one of their rivals right down the street from Central York. But also for Cumberland Valley, they took a tough loss this year, excuse me, against Chambersburg. Another team that's ranked very high in districts.
And one thing about Cumberland Valley, they don't play a lot of cupcakes. They play a lot of big-time schools, and they sit right behind the undefeated Reading Red Knights at 19-0 in District 3 6A rankings.
Oh yeah, as you know, Reading, the returning state champions, are red hot, coached by Coach Rick Perez. You know, always has his guys locked in and ready to go. Very hard to play at the Geico where they play at. I mean, that's another one of those gyms where it's just so iconic, and it makes you feel like you're this big when you're in that gym watching.
And I can imagine if they get a packed house right here at the Dome tonight, what the atmosphere would be like tonight with a packed house here.
And another interesting thing that I saw about Cumberland Valley, they played against Redline this year and only beat Redline by 4 points. It was a 51-47 win for Cumberland Valley, you know, and they were at full capacity that night. So it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of team comes out for Cumberland Valley. You know, it's starting to get packed in here tonight, Todd, as you can see. And it should be a great game that, you know, we're very excited to have. And want to thank the AD and the Cumberland Valley community for allowing us to be here, as this is our first time filming at the gymnasium.
It will not be here the last time. I know Central football team will be up here in the fall against Cumberland Valley, and who knows, maybe we'll make a surprise return for that game in the fall. But first things first, a little boys basketball tonight featuring 2 of the top teams in District 3 6A, and we would like to thank our sponsors for making this possible. How about it, Duke?
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to start with Thornton Automotive of Dover, Basil Insurance, S3 Performance Training, I already said Basil Insurance, but the Basketball Warehouse, Complete Restoration, as well as PA Legends, Empowerment's Pizza of Dallastown, and Inchico Sports.
All sponsors of tonight's game, as this is another pop-up game. Two
Yes.
pop-up games on a Thursday night here, dude. We've been kept busy this basketball season.
Absolutely, it was a fan requested game, and sometimes we do these pop-up games. It happens the same day, same week, and we just make it happen. So this is another one that I know the fans really want to see, and we're only about 5 minutes away from tip-off, and it's going to be. It's going to be a very good game.
Yeah, we're going to make our way back to the broadcast booth, settle in tonight with sports shooting stars Todd Edwards, my broadcast partner Dude Jones, our second of 3 games this week, as we'll be on the road again tomorrow night at West York as they'll play host to New Oxford on senior night at West York.
Also want to add, the JV starting point guard did not play in the JV game for Cumberland Valley, so we shall see him play in this varsity game because they're missing their starting point guard. So it's going to be interesting on both halves. Like I said, Cumberland Valley is a very deep team, but I heard they only go about 7 to 8 deep, similar to Central York, only going about 7 to 8 deep on their bench. But, it's all about coaching and, and the effort that the guys put out here tonight and adjustments during halftime.
And we know Cumberland Valley, they're a perennial powerhouse in District 3.
Especially in football.
Oh, football, wrestling, and basketball this season. They're right at the top.
And I'm sorry not to cut you off. This saw Coach Josh Oswald, Cumberland Valley's coach, just entered the building. He used to also coach at Central York, so it's a lot of close ties between both these teams.
A lot of connections between Central and Cumberland Valley, and fans settle in as we're going to settle into the broadcast booth. We're going to make our way up. Enjoy the game tonight.
Yeah, go to the live chat, interact with us, let us know who you think the player of the game should be, and it should be a really good game. Let's keep it clean and classy, and we're about 2 minutes away from tip-off.
Okay, dude. Sports fans, we're back. Todd Edwards, Dude Jones here as we are moments away from player introduction here at the Dome at Cumberland Valley High School.
Sorry, as you can see, Central York is being introduced first, as they are the visitors.
And now, let's begin. Here's the one a 5'11" freshman. He's wearing 0, Ryan Brown. He's a 6'1" sophomore guard, number 1, Kevin McCall. He's wearing number 4, 6'6" junior. He's a freshman. 6 foot guard number 10, representing Case. And starting at center, a sophomore, 6'8" Ben Rue, a captain of Central.
And now the Cumberland Valley Eagles are going to be introduced to their home court crowd, which is a packed house here tonight, Todd.
No doubt about it.
He's a junior. 6'3" overall. Silver. He's senior Jacob D. We're going to go with the 84. 6'5" senior, salute to leaders of veteran forces with the flag of the Star Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, we present with pride and much gratitude our national anthem.
There you have it, sports fans, the playing of our national anthem here at the Dome at Cumberland Valley High School, and we are moments away from tip-off featuring Central York at Cumberland Valley, and we thank you for tuning in tonight to Sports Shooting Stars. Cumberland Valley comes in with a 16-2 overall record, ranked number 24 in the state of Pennsylvania. As my broadcast partner mentioned in the pregame, had a really close game to Red Lion earlier this year where they won 51-47 in the season.
Yeah, it should be an interesting matchup. We have a lot of fans that's tuning in from Cumberland Valley as well as York County and our loyal faithful fans that follow us. Our loyal faithful fans that follow us throughout the season. So yeah, shout out to all the fans that's tuning in from Cumberland Valley and as well as York County, Adams County, and all points in between.
Ben Rill out there for Central, ready for the tip-off.
And he's going against number
14, Nolan Gilbert.
Listed at 6'5", Nolan Gilbert. There's a tip.
Central in their orange jerseys with white numbers. They'll be moving left to right on your TV screen. Cumberland Valley in their white jerseys with red numbers. And we are underway here from the Dome. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Ben Rill with the ball.
Rill.
Space. And that's Ben Rill's move. He likes to do that spin move. He likes to get that bumped space so he can knock down the shot. Looks like the referee is not going to play that tonight, so you might see some close calls to start the game. He's not going to let it be a physical game. Central York is in a press. As you can see, they have Ryan Brown, the freshman, down there on the paint in that press. Has the big man up at the top, and there's shot.
Three-point shot off the iron.
Rebound by Ben Natal. Out the
Two
Brooklyn
freshmen,
Nace.
as you mentioned earlier, starting for Central York, Brooklyn Nace and R.B. Brown. There's Nace shot, misses.
Nace saw a quick open shot. Didn't get a chance to nail it, but it was an open shot.
Bringing the ball up court now for the Eagles of Cumberland Valley.
And just like that, Central York is in a man. No, they're back to a zone. As you can see, Ryan Brown Jr., number 0, playing the baseline. And Cumberland Valley just taking their time. They're looking for some backdoor play. There it is.
There it is.
That's a nice cutoff. They're looking for that backdoor play. They like to keep their players outside the perimeter and kind of lull you to sleep a little bit and do a backdoor play, which you're going to see happen again.
Baseline.
And again, Todd, we just spoke about that. You know, these referees are not going to allow too much contact between the players. Already 2 quick foul calls against Central York.
Yes, two fouls, and Cumberland Valley with the possession.
And there they are setting up their offense deep in the post.
Down low. Terrell Oganake.
And that was a
Foul on
nice
the play.
move. Nice box out, a nice move for number 1 for the Cumberland Eagles.
Toriel Oganake.
And Ben Rill, him being 6'8", you know, he doesn't have to leave his feet too much. He just has to raise his arms, not stay in foul trouble. Just has to raise his arms, and he'll be, you know, in position to make the play a lot difficult to score.
Toriel makes his first shot here and gets Cumberland Valley on the board right now with 6:20 to go. Opening quarter from the Dome at Cumberland Valley High School.
Knocks down both. Central York coming right back. Running their offense, looking like
Gettinger for 3, a big 3 by Greg Gettinger, the son of former NBA player Jay Gettinger, who Jay is in attendance here tonight. Played a couple seasons with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the early 90s.
So he knows what it takes to get to the next level. Rebound by Ryan Brown Jr., he pushes.
Brings the ball up court, looking to go coast to coast, off the iron. Central with the 1-point lead, 3-2 early here in the first quarter.
Want to give a shout out.
Stars.
Sorry, I want to give a shout out also to Jeff Gillinger watching from Wisconsin, the uncle of Greg.
Big shot there by Nolan Gilbert. Jump shot made. Gives Cumberland Valley now a 4-3 lead. Yeah, I believe his uncle was in a couple weeks ago at the York High game. We had a chance to meet him post-game.
We did.
When Central York defeated York High.
Got a chance to meet a lot of the Gettinger family. Very nice people, tall people.
Yes.
Very tall people. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Cumberland Valley will maintain possession as the ball.
And so far for Central, a couple quick shots by the freshmen. You know, a turnover by Ben Natal. They need to slow it down a little bit, run their offense. They got the ball to Greg Gettinger. He had a chance to shoot that 3. And, you know, that's what they want to go through. Greg and Ben in the post. And that's a drive, and that's a travel, but they missed the travel call.
And the put in there by Nolan Gilbert. 4
Took an
points
extra
for
step.
Nolan.
And this is going to be a slugfest. You know, play by play, just have to run their offense and trust.
And this is a good test tonight for both teams.
Absolutely. Ben Natal doing what he does.
Does what he does and puts it in for 2.
He stretches his body out really good and gets really long once he gets inside the paint. And you can see Central York still in that somewhat of a trap.
Yeah, you oftentimes think about this Central team, about the 2 big guys, but let's not forget about Ben Natal as well, number 1.
Absolutely. Ben Real down in the paint where he wants the ball at. Tough hook shot.
Central with a 1 point, down by 1 point here,
Yeah.
6-5. With just over 4 minutes to go.
Central still in that, now they're man-to-man, would help. That's a tough move. That's a good block. And they're getting busy on the boards right now, Cumberland Valley. They're controlling the boards. Central York, they want to stay in this game. They got to start getting busy on the boards as well. And as you can see, they're going to bring in their 2 sophomores, Saxton Sukanik and also Matthew Parker, for that reason alone, to get some more rebounds.
Nolan Bazolka at the charity stripe, makes his first shot. Both Matthew Parker and Saxton Zucanic play football for the Central York Panthers
Yes,
as well.
they do. Saxton Zucanic, a lockdown DB. Matthew Parker, amazing kicker, punter as well. Made first team last year. Right now, don't know the call. I think there's some issue with the clock. Yeah, they're going to burn some time off the clock. I think there was an issue with the clock there.
Well, the clock reads 3:45 right now, and a 3-point lead for Cumberland Valley, 8-5, as Ryan Brown Jr. brings the ball up court for Central York. Getting her with a deep three off the iron.
Short
Here's
rebound by Saxton Zucanic.
And you mentioned, they brought Saxton in for that rebounding ability, and we saw it there on that play.
Yep, absolutely.
And the student section here behind the one net here to the right of us. Oh, yes.
It's loud in here tonight. And Cumberland Valley's looking to get the ball in the post. They want to do some post movement. There's an open three.
Off the iron, rebound by Ryan Brown Jr. Ben Natal now for three.
Crash the board.
There's Matthew Parker for the cleanup. Matthew Parker with his first points tonight. Pulls Central within 8-7 with under 3 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter.
And that's the name of the game, Todd. You got to get on the boards and you got to create some turnovers, but you definitely got to get on the boards.
We mentioned in our pregame show, I have a feeling you're going to see both of these teams in the District 3 6A tournament later this season.
Open three, got to get out there.
And makes it. Tariel Oganak, big three, gives Tariel 5 points.
And it's about, when you're in the zone, it's about switching and getting to that spot. So you got to make sure to get out there a lot faster, for a team like CV playing at home who can knock down those big-time threes. Still a very contested ball game so far, 11-7. Eagles up.
Oh, a full 4 quarters here, between these two teams. Natal with a jumper. There's Ben Rill down low.
And Ben Rill should have an advantage sometimes down low. They have some big men, CV does, but Ben Rill should have that advantage. Has to play tough. He has a quick foul to start the game. When we try to create some space and call it an offensive foul.
And this time he'll be sent to the charity stripe, looking for his first points in tonight's game. You mentioned in our pregame show, 38 points against Southwestern.
And he calmly knocks down the first shot.
Shooting in that student section, by the way.
Which is tough.
Rather loud and proud here tonight.
It's tough down in that student section. He knocks down both without a problem.
And bringing his Central within 2, 11-9 right now. Cumberland Valley with just over 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter.
And this zone offense is based on, the big men sprinting and getting to spots. And if they're slow and sprinting and getting to those spots, it's going to leave an open man for Cumberland Valley.
Deep three, short.
And you got to get rebounds. You got to get rebounds.
And there for the put-in, Nolan Gilbert.
And hopefully that's not going to be something that's going to hurt Central York throughout the game, but they got to realize they got to get on the boards.
And they certainly have some big guys to get those rebounds off the board here. And you mentioned earlier Matthew Parker and Saxton Zucanic both in. Spin move by Gettinger. There's Zucanic for the put-in to clean things up.
Exactly why you want Saxton Zucanic in the game.
And a timeout called on the court with your score. Cumberland Valley 13, Central York 11, with 1:35 to go in the opening quarter.
And it's been fast in a hurry in the opening quarter so far. You definitely have that district feel coming into this game with a packed house, playing in a dome like this. There's a lot of big names. You never know who's watching. I'm pretty sure there's some scouts, coaches, and people that know basketball watching these type of games.
Yeah.
Even from Sports Shooting Stars, you never know.
Worthy of the main event billing, no doubt about it, this matchup here tonight between Central York and Cumberland Valley. I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast: Thornton Automotive of Dover, Fairview Early Learning and Community Center, S3 Performance Training, Basil Insurance Agency, the Basketball Warehouse, Parma Pizza of Dallastown, Complete Restorations, all sponsors for tonight's game. And we're back to action here, coming off the timeout. Cumberland Valley with the possession.
See a couple familiar faces here tonight. Davion Litter and his father here from York High. Come to scout or just come check out a really good game.
Check out the team. Well, you mentioned York High. They're one spot ahead of Central York
they are.
In the District 3 6A ranking.
Sitting at number 5, York High in the districts.
And CV right now working the ball back rather patiently here.
Looking for that 3.
And there's a three-point attempt off the iron.
And you just got to be aggressive on the rebound.
Matthew Parker steals it, brings the ball up court for the Panthers. Nice
That's
move.
an and one.
And the and one. And I think Matthew was a little surprised with that.
Don't always expect Matthew Parker to bring the ball full court, but he can do that. And you just and there, I like the initiative, I like the aggression that he's shown on that play there. And that's what you want to see from Matthew Parker throughout the season, for him to get more comfortable out there and, you know, push the ball, because he can be a force. And there's many games where he is a force on the rebounds, and he can score, as you can see right now. Has an opportunity to give Central York the lead in the first quarter. And he does,
and
knocks it down.
Gives Central the lead. 5 points for Matthew Parker tonight.
Checking back in for Central York is a freshman, Ryan Brown Jr. and Brooklyn Nace.
Travel called on number 22 for Cumberland Valley, Nolan Bazalka, will result in Central's possession now.
And very methodical so far with the subbing, because coming back into the game is Greg Gittinger and also Ben Natal. Watch this lob.
And applying some defensive pressure there. Number 4, Jacob Snyder on Ryan Brown Jr. for an inbound pass. Connects there with Matthew Parker.
Ben Natal to the bucket.
Drives.
Short. Normally doesn't miss that type of shot.
Normally, you're correct on that, too. Unusual to see that from Ben Natal.
And you can see Central York back in a man now, out of that zone. Just going straight up man-to-man. Space. And Central York believe that ball was tipped out on CV.
Yeah, and
Only 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. Expect CV to get something done fast. Love to see that from Matthew Parker, just being aggressive, and that's exactly what you need out there.
And time expires.
That mental toughness and physicality from Matthew Parker in the first quarter is exactly what the tone that Central York wants to bring coming into a contest like this. Like to see the effort and the way how physical Matthew's playing right now.
And your score after one quarter, Central York 14, Cumberland Valley 13. Your leading scores for Central York, Matthew Parker has 5 points. And for Cumberland Valley, Nolan Gilbert has 6 points. As the Cumberland Valley cheerleaders entertain the fans here between quarters 1 and 2. Thank you again for tuning in to Sports Shooting Stars tonight as we bring the game to you. Want to remind you, we'll be back on the air tomorrow night. We'll travel to West York as they play host to the New Oxford Colonials in our final regular season game with Sports Shooting Stars tomorrow night, which will be senior night for West York. If you're in the area, stop in, put your face into place, stop by and say hi, or continue to support and watch Sports Shooting Stars as we bring the game to you. To start the second quarter, Cumberland Valley will maintain possession here in a tight game, dude. Kind of what we expected coming into tonight's game.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, Central York's throwing out there a couple of different wrinkles with different players in different zone sets and man-to-man. It's all about getting to certain spots in this zone on defense. And look like they have their quick lineup out there right now.
Deep three off the iron. Ben Rill attempting to get it, and
just kind of slipped out of Ben Rill's hand. As we said, coming into the game, Cumberland Valley's missing two of their top players.
Dylan Levis along with Jackson Boone.
Jackson Boone, 6'6".
Yeah, big presence.
And Levis, the point guard, starting point guard on the team. That's good aggression.
Brooklyn Ace, the freshman, to give to Ryan Brown Jr. A deep three, and makes it. Ryan Brown Jr., his first points in tonight's game.
And that was the freshman to freshman type of connection right there with that shot.
Gives Central now a 4-point lead, 17-13, early in the second quarter.
That's good defense from Brooklyn Ace. And they're pretty much stuck right now, don't know what to do. Don't want to fall asleep, going to keep playing good defense. Looking to go baseline, he does, create space.
And
tough shot.
In. That's J.D. Hunter with his first points in tonight's game.
And right now, Central York looking to set up their offense. Kick out to Greg Gittinger. Been real deep in the paint, where he likes to get the ball at. And that's a great rebound for Brooklyn Ace.
Gittinger baseline to give to Ryan Brown Jr.
And right now, Central York's being patient with the ball.
Jump shot by Ben Rill off the iron. Coming up cold right now, Ben Rill, early in this game.
Yeah, Ben Rill likes to take that shot, so that's something you're going to see him take quite often.
And the put in.
And it's just the extra effort from Cumberland Valley. Central York has to provide that extra effort as well if they want to keep a cushion and keep the lead.
And with that bucket, ties this game up 17-17 with just under 6 minutes to go. Ryan Brown Jr. for three off the iron. Rebounded by Ben Rill. See what Ben can do. I believe he stepped out of bounds on that play. Will be Cumberland Valley's possession. We talk about Central York, dude. This is a young team, though. I mean, when you think about how they'll be kind of stacked for the next couple years.
Well, they start 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and 1 junior. No seniors on the team at all. And they still sport a 16. They sport a 15-5 record with such young team.
Yeah, I don't believe Central York will be going away anytime soon, their basketball program here.
A lot of people like to assume Central York to be a football school with the likes of Bo Perbula and Kay Perbula and those guys, those brothers.
Joel's Golf, a D1 commit to Pitt University.
Big shout out to Joel's. He's going to have a big year for his 12th grade season.
And not to mention, with some news coming out, David Pow coming back to Hempfield, and that should be a big matchup. Gilbert makes both shots.
And checking in the game is Bowden Peace, number 12 for Central York. Don't call his name too often. Was injured sometime this year, but he's on the court right now. Can bring a lot to the team. Hard worker.
Matthew Parker. Bowden Peace now with the ball. Gittinger, Saxon Zukanik, and Ryan Brown Jr. on the court for Central. Gittinger off the iron. Rebound by Nolan Gilbert.
And again, these refs here are not going to let them play physical at all. They're calling every call they can.
Yeah.
When it comes to any physicality.
Yeah, if you're maybe used to seeing or wanting to see maybe the little bit of the bad boys from the Detroit Piston days, don't believe you're going to see that here tonight. They're not going to put up with any of the, as you mentioned, the physicality here early.
And already, Central York is in the bonus. And this is a lineup I haven't seen Central York play with so far this year with Bowden Peace, Matthew Parker, Ben Natal, Saxon Zukanik, and Ryan Brown Jr. Haven't seen this lineup as of yet. And there's a physicality type of play there. They're not calling it,
And the put in by J.D. Hunter. 4 points for J.D. tonight for Cumberland Valley. Ben Natal in, number 1 for Central. Bowden through the hands of Bowden Peace, out of bounds. will be Cumberland Valley's possession. 4:59 to go. A timeout called rather smartly by head coach Jeff Hogue with 4:59 to go, and now a 4-point lead for Cumberland Valley, 21-17.
And looking at that lineup, that St. York had, and knowing their skill set, I see why they call timeout. They want to get, readjust and talk about it a little bit. Haven't seen that lineup together so far in this season, so this is not the time now to experiment. I feel like with new lineups and things like that. So coach took a wise timeout to get his guys back to readjust and to finish the second quarter pretty strong. There's still 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, 21-17.
As we mentioned earlier in our pregame show, this Central York Ball Club will return home tomorrow to close out their regular season schedule as they'll play host to their kind of crosstown rival, Northeastern Bobcats. A little backyard brawl tomorrow night at Central. And the bucket made by Jacob Snyder. 4 points now for Jacob Snyder.
Well, Jacob Snyder just used the same play 2 times in a row. You want to make him go right. You want to make him go left. He likes to just do a straight-up layup. You want to make him go left as much as possible.
And the bucket made. J.D. Hunter, 6 points. Then Natal, a deep 3, drains it.
It quiets the crowd a little bit with that deep 3.
Central needed that to get back onto the board here right now. The momentum clearly on the side of Cumberland Valley. 5-point lead, 25-20.
And that's an errant pass. That's a
Greg
steal.
Gettinger now on the fast break. And
hey, that's what you need. You're playing on the road. You got to play scrappy. And you got to have those type of turnovers.
Much to the chagrin of the student section here at Cumberland Valley. Not happy with that call, but it's going to send Greg Gettinger now to the charity stripe. Greg with 3 points tonight, looking to add to his point total.
Taking a break is Bowden Peace. Coming back in as Brooklyn Nace.
5 points now for Greg Gettinger. Pulls Central within 3. Cumberland Valley 25, Central York 22. Just under 4 minutes remain. And there's a little bit of that defense we've seen by Saxton Zucanic. We saw that earlier in a broadcast against York High.
Yeah,
very tenacious on the defensive side of the ball for Central. Number 3, Saxton Zucanic. But it will send Cumberland Valley to the charity stripe here. Jacob Snyder, 4 points.
And I don't know, Todd.
Yeah.
I'm seeing these calls.
They're calling a push on Saxton.
And that's a box out.
And
So some of these calls, it's 9-5 at this point. But it seems like they're calling what they want to call so far in the game. Don't want to get on the referees too much, but if you can't box the kid out and be physical, then what type of game should you play?
Correct. And right now the balance of fouls right now, 9 for Central, just 5 for Cumberland Valley. Something to keep an eye on as the game progresses. Gettinger baseline, swatted away. And J.D. Hunter now with 8 points. Extends Cumberland Valley's lead to 5. With under 3.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
And
the dome is rocking here, no doubt about it.
And they want to try to get the ball to Greg Gettinger or Ben Natal.
There's Saxton Zucanic. And a steal by J.D. Hunter. Gets it out and in for the bucket. Nolan Gilbert hits double digits with 10 points.
And right now, Central York has to weather their punch from CV. They're throwing everything they have at him right now. And with the 6 man in the crowd, it can't get tough down here. Saxton Zucanic with the tough shot. Easy tip in for Greg Gettinger.
For the cleanup there. 7 points now for Greg Gettinger.
And again, Tyler, as we said again, these two teams know their district bounds, so this is a tough, intense matchup between both ball clubs. And there's a charge call.
Charge. Yep.
And you're going to get defense from Saxon's Mechanic, without a doubt. That's what he brings to the table. He's a physical guy, doesn't mind being on the floor, and he's just as tough as your toughest man on the other team.
He brings a little bit of that football mentality here to the hardwood floor. And it'll be Central York's possession. Ryan Brown Jr. inbound pass to Ben Natal. Just over 2 minutes remaining here before halftime.
And that's a
out of bounds and
somewhat
it was close there. Nolan Bazalka last touched it, went out of bounds.
Put a lot of air on that ball with that pass there. You know, when you got a guy like a freshman, you got to kind of get the ball right there to him. He's not that tall.
A little bit of a learning curve here.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
Younger team for Central, but
Ben Natal finds some space.
Greg Gettinger, three, and what a shot by Greg Gettinger.
And he's starting to heat up.
Double digits now for Greg Gettinger, 10 points.
And that's exactly what they want from Greg Gettinger. They want him to be the leading scorer and really guide the team. Now it's about defense. That's just a clever play for number 22.
Yeah, Nolan Bazul, now 4 points for CV.
Very clever way to create and get yourself an opportunity to score.
And extends CV's lead now to 4, 31-27 with just under a minute and a half to go before halftime.
And they're looking for Greg again.
Ben Rill down low.
Create space.
Nice move by Ben Rill.
And that's what he wants to do. He wants to lower his shoulder, create that space so he can get that shot in the paint.
4 points for Ben Rill.
Going baseline. Big rebound.
Ben Natal with a rebound. Brings the ball up court.
Kick out.
Kick out to Gettinger. Off the iron. Rebounded by Brooklyn Ace. Now Ben Natal will attempt a three. CV now with the ball with under a minute remaining here before halftime.
And they were open threes. No reason not to take those type of shots. They were open, just didn't get a chance to fall. And it's a scrappy game so far, very physical.
Kind of what we expected and living up to the hype here tonight. What a move by Nolan Gilbert. 12 points for Nolan Gilbert.
Great way to use his left hand.
Ben Natal drive to the net.
That's a quick shot. Saw an opening that he liked, but that was a quick shot. The guys wasn't really ready on offense. But Ben is a scorer, and he sees things, and he attacks. And that steps there. It did not call.
And the bucket made by Nolan Bazolka.
That's a 6-point lead for the Cumberland Eagles.
And we've arrived at halftime. As my broadcast partner mentioned, Cumberland Valley 35, Central York 29. As both teams make their way back to the locker room, do your thoughts on the first half of this game between two of the top District 3 6A teams here in our region?
Well, it's been very interesting so far. Back and forth. Gets very loud in here, so I believe, Cumberland Valley does have, the fans on their side as well. But, Central York has to be more physical. They showed spurts in the first half where they were physical and going after the ball, but it's kind of tough when you have the foul discrepancy at a 5-10, in the first half where they were calling certain calls against Central York that, what I thought were basketball moves and being physical, but, they saw it otherwise. So Central York's doing a good job staying in the game, on the road. They have to buckle down, play some tighter defense. They know who wants to score the ball. They kind of have a feel, of number 22. I'm sorry.
Number 22, Nolan Bazolka has 6 points, but really number 14, Nolan Gilbert.
Nolan Gilbert, yes.
With
Nolan
12 points, has really been a big contributor for the Cumberland Valley Eagles, and he's the leading scorer overall tonight. Greg Gettinger with 10 points leads all Central York scorers. Interesting to see. Central York's no stranger to kind of being in these environments. Father Judge, at Wilson earlier this season. And this venue here, no different. It can be a rather hostile crowd and loud crowd here tonight at the Dome.
Yeah, I believe
a little bit of youth night taking place.
And I believe Central York took Cumberland Valley's, big punch in the first half, and now they know what to expect between, Cumberland Valley and what they're going to do. They have to adjust well. Coach Hoke did a great job of subbing his guys in, giving them different looks, different wrinkles in the offense and defense. I think frustrated Cumberland Valley at first, but I think the key is Central York's not getting enough rebounds and being more physical. If the referees kind of keep that whistle, in their pocket versus blowing it, I think you'll see a more physical game. And it's going to come down to who wants it more, as always.
And we'll see what adjustments they make. Obviously, heading back in the locker room and see what Central can do coming out to improve upon those efforts as the game will unfold. But right now, there's a bit of a game in front of us right now. As I mentioned, Cumberland Valley Youth Night.
At Thornton Automotive's 6 locations in Manchester, Dover, East York, and Red Lion, our Customer Appreciation Sales Event is going on now. At Thornton Automotive, we understand you have a lot of choices for your automotive needs, and we invite you to come in and see why we're York County's fastest growing auto group. You want to drive home happy with over 700 new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs?
You got it.
You want huge clearance savings with no money down and low payments?
You got it.
Then shop online 24/7 at Thornton247.com.
This stuff comes in more handy because
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, because if we don't have this stuff, then we have to go out and buy it.
Okay.
And whenever we get an excess, we just give it to our vets that come pick up food for the military share.
All right, we just pulled back into Thornton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram after a long day. We were able to fill a truck bed for Mr. Sandy's. It's going to go a long way for them. We really appreciate everybody that was able to donate this year.
this stuff comes in more handy because.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, because if we don't have this stuff, then we have to go out and buy it.
Okay.
And whenever we get an excess, we just give it to our vets that come pick up food for the military share.
All right, we just pulled back into Thornton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram after a long day. We were able to fill a truck bed for Mr. Sandy's. It's going to go a long way for them. We really appreciate everybody that was able to donate this year.
And as the fans can quickly see on our screen, that's a picture of the upcoming Inch and Co sports facility that's coming to York County, located at the old Central York High School, as well as some of our other sponsors for tonight, S3 Performance Training, Parmer's Pizza, Inch and Co Sports, PA Legends, Thornton Automotive, Fairview Early Learning Center, Early Learning and Community Center, the Basketball Warehouse, and Charlie's Angels, a great foundation in honor of Erin Walker, former teacher at Central York, who passed away suddenly last year, and they have a foundation for her. You'll see her information at the lower of our screen, or you can go straight online underneath Charlie's Angels. That's organized by Mallory Kelly and also Basil's son, I'm about to say AJ Basil.
Well, Nick Basil was a guest on our program earlier in the season.
Had a
and
brain
they're talking
fart.
about possibly doing like a 5K run in tribute to part of Charlie's Angels. As both teams now, sports fans, have made their way out from the locker room, and we are getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Again, the score, the home team up right now, Cumberland Valley 35, Central York 29.
Just got confirmation that folks at my mother's house is watching the game here tonight, so big shout out to my nephews and nieces that's watching the game, my mother, my sister, and the rest of the gang. As they can see,
welcome aboard.
They can see their grandson, RB, Ryan Brown Jr., just passed the ball up. Start the second half, and that's a quick turnover.
Those turnovers, Central York have to kind of clean up here in the second half.
Wasn't a strong entry pass from Ben Natal. They got to clean up their turnovers so they don't get in too much of a deficit in the second half. Just a wild shot. And just getting scrappy on the boards, as we said earlier.
Nace. Brooklyn Nace, the freshman, brings the ball up court for Central York.
They're deep. They got to swing the ball up.
Down
Good pass.
Low. There's Ben Rill.
Nice ball movement from Central York. Everybody had a chance to touch the ball on that particular play. You just got to put your nose down and be more physical with number 3, J.D. Hunter.
J.D. Hunter, and their point distribution for this Cumberland Valley team, well distributed here tonight. I'll go through the points here for Cumberland Valley. There's Ben Rill down low again.
And he likes that move.
Yeah, J.D. Hunter has 10 points. Nolan Gilbert, 12 points for Cumberland Valley. And Terrell Ogonak with 5 points. Nolan Bazolka, 6 points.
And the strange thing about Cumberland Valley, they're not really running any plays. They're just shooting the ball and just getting to the ball and getting rebounds.
And getting points
And
right
getting
now,
points.
and
They're not
the
really
lead.
running a whole lot of plays. Ben Real, deep again. He's starting to like that shot.
Yes, he is.
And they're working their way back into the game.
Ben Real now with double digits, 10 points, matching his teammate Greg Gittinger.
And Central York figures it out. They're not really running too much of an offense. They're just playing what I call hooping. They're just getting to the bucket and getting a shot off. And they should, once they understand that and get on the rebound, Central York can kind of start controlling this game.
Deep three.
There it is.
Big three.
Not really offense, just ways of finding ways to score.
Nolan Bazolka gives CV a 5.
Half. And you wonder if the muscle.
Baseline for the put in. J.D. Hunter, 12 points. And this Cumberland Valley team, dude, does not seem fazed by the
Just
injury.
making plays.
2 starters out for Cumberland Valley, and they kind of picked up. You can't really tell they're missing their 2 players tonight. Cumberland Valley with a
And
comfortable
Central
lead
York
right now.
needs to wake up a little bit in the second half, coming out with 2 turnovers, quick shots, and it was only a 2-point game. They need to slow it down a little bit, work the ball like they did, in a couple other possessions.
And now a 7-point lead.
You got to play a disciplined game when you're on the road, and right now Central York needs to realize that, especially playing in district where you can play at anybody's gym, neutral gyms, anytime of the day.
And you're
I'm
gonna
sorry,
head
any
into
game of the week, I
Yeah,
mean.
the higher seed, you're going to head into maybe potentially some hostile environments.
They have to be physical in this game if they want to win.
And out rebounded again. There's Nolan Gilbert. 14 points for Nolan. Matches his jersey number right now with just
Central York
over
has
5
to kind of
minutes
weather
to
the
go.
storm.
Gittinger with the ball. And a foul called on the play with 4:52 to go. Cumberland Valley 44, Central York 35. Central will maintain possession. Ryan Brown Jr. to give to Gittinger.
And that's the shot he likes to take.
Off the iron.
A little short. Like to see Gittinger get a little deeper in the pocket, but I know he can hit that fadeaway jump shot. He knocks it down at a high clip.
We've seen it in games past from Greg, so it's
That's a travel.
no call there, but no bucket either. And now Central in transition. Ryan Brown Jr. with the bucket. 5 points for Ryan Brown Jr. tonight. Deep three off the iron there
That's
for the
what they
rebound.
need.
Gittinger. Central now setting up their offense. Out of bounds. Central will maintain possession. 3:40 remaining here in the third quarter. Ben Real down low.
And they were looking for a foul on the first play, but Ben Real did a great job of getting his rebound and going back up and staying competitive.
And Ben now at the charity stripe with 10 points, looking to add to his point total. With 3:37 to go here in the third quarter, it's Cumberland Valley 44, Central York 37.
And Central York is getting close, but they just can't, get close enough. They got within 2 points, and then bam, Cumberland Valley came around, fast break, scored a couple buckets, and got up again.
Had a 1-point lead after the first quarter.
They do.
And yeah, they've just been.
And it's just hustle plays from Cumberland Valley, getting open and making some big plays. Nice 2 shots from Ben Rill, cutting the lead to 5 points.
It's 12 points now for Ben Rill, sophomore for Central York.
And Central York's back in that zone where it's very important for them to be in spots.
Baseline, Bazolka down low to Nolan Gilbert.
Strange calls, in my opinion, Todd. You know, they're calling calls.
And one. Nolan Gilbert, 16 points.
Nolan Gilbert has been dominant. Big force down there in the middle. And, you know, he likes to bang in the middle, so you think they'll give a little contact back and forth. But once he gets touched, they're calling that foul.
Certainly making his presence felt tonight in this game. Number 14, Nolan Gilbert for Cumberland Valley. And a comfortable lead right now for the Eagles, 47-39 over the Panthers, as Ben Natal brings the ball up court for Central.
Matthew Parker thought about it, goes to the bucket, gets some space, and there's battling on the board now.
And that's who you want down there battling with the boards, with one Matthew Parker and Sexton Zucanic for Central York. Now the Eagles with the ball.
Central York is crucial for Central York to get a couple stops on this possession here. At least one stop, and you get the ball back. Cumberland Valley shooting at a high percentage and getting some high percentage shots as well. As we said, Nolan Gilbert leading all scorers with 16 and just been a force in the middle, number 14. Listed at 6'5". And they're just working the ball a little bit, not wasting any time. I mean, wasting a lot of time.
Well, and you're right, taking time off the clock right now with the lead. Saxon Zucanic bounced the ball off his foot, but Greg Ginninger there for the pickup.
And you've seen that shot a few times from Cumberland Valley where they kind of just throw the ball up. They kind of just throw the ball up and get their own rebound for a tip-in.
Ben Rill with the bucket. Pulls Central within 6, 47-41. Cumberland Valley under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
And that's a
and
steal.
A turnover, and again, that's what you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're
and
the
you need a
Central
great
Panthers.
shot. Here, you need to work the ball and get a good shot to get that momentum back on your side for Central York.
Big shot by Gettinger.
And that's a nice shot. Nice pass from Ben Natal to game.
12 points
Gettinger.
for Greg. Match that up with Ben Rill's 14 points for Central.
It's good defense from Saxton Zucanic, using his length and his size to make it really tough.
Off the iron. Who wants it more?
And that's exactly what Central York needed, a couple of those rebounds, and they can get this game a lot closer with a good shot. Back to the foul line.
Nice shot by Gettinger.
That's what he wants. That's his favorite shot.
14 points for Greg. And pulls Central within 2, 47-45. Cumberland Valley baseline.
And there's that same play from Cumberland Valley.
That hook shot made
just
by
making
Nolan
shots,
Gilbert.
making plays. Sometimes it's not pretty, but it just goes in, and that's how Cumberland Valley's been playing this whole game so far.
Nice floater by Ben Natal.
Great job from Ben Natal, looking off the defender and going straight to the bucket for that floater.
17 seconds and counting here for the end of the third quarter.
And I can't count how many and ones so far Cumberland Valley has. I believe that's their third and one.
J.D. Hunter now with 14 points. And you're wondering this half, well, 3 fouls for Central, 2 for Cumberland Valley.
J.D. Hunter's doing a great job of creating plays for himself and getting in there. Only 11 seconds to go. Looks like Central York is going to bring in the 2 freshmen, Brooklyn Nace and Ryan Brown Jr. They're looking for offense. These guys can bring the ball up the court fast.
Well, we'll see what they can get dialed up here with 11.7 seconds to go here. Until the end of the third quarter.
And they're looking to get a quick shot up. About 7 seconds to go.
Ryan Brown Jr. kick out to Brooklyn Nace. and overshoots it. And we've arrived at the end of the third quarter with your score. Cumberland Valley 52, Central York 47.
And that was an open shot. That's a shot that you wanted. Brooklyn Nation didn't get a chance to knock it down, but that is the open shot that you want. And they took it, didn't waste it. Made sure there was no more time left on the clock.
And it should be an exciting final 8 minutes right here from the Dome at Cumberland Valley High School. Your leading scorers tonight, well, Central York, Greg Gimminger, 14 points. Ben Rill, 14 points. For the Cumberland Valley Eagles, Nolan Gilbert, 19 points. Followed by J.D. Hunter, who has 15 points. And that gives, of course, Cumberland Valley the lead, 52-47 over Central York, with the final 8 minutes soon upon us here from the Dome. And we thank you for tuning in tonight to Sports Shooting Stars. We will be back on the air tomorrow night as we make our way to West York High School for senior night at West York, as they'll play host to the New Oxford Colonials. Want to remind sports fans this will be our final regular season broadcast of the season, as we'll ramp things up then with district and, well, counties first, and then potentially districts.
Can't wait.
A busy broadcast season for Sports Shooting Stars. We thank you for tuning in, and we thank our sponsors as well as we bring the game to you this Thursday night.
Want to give a shout out to our guy Marcellus Gottwald. He's watching the game here tonight. I'm sorry, he's watching the game from his home. And there's that hook shot.
And puts it in.
90% of his shots are hook shots, and they're money. He gets so deep in the paint.
21 points for Nolan Gilbert.
Greg Gittinger with the ball. Finds a spot that he likes.
And rolls in for
Acrobatic
Gittinger.
shot. And right now they're just trading points, but Central York needs a couple stops. Some tough plays from the Eagles.
Gritty team here. I mean, they come in here with a 16-2 record, and you can see why.
Absolutely. They're really not looking for that three. They want to try to get a shot down for a high percentage shot down in the paint.
Well, and you have to think, too, how much maybe taking some time off the clock as well, as there's no shot clock here in PIAA.
And that's a holding call. And you got to almost assume in a situation like this that Central is going to be more aggressive going to the ball. Not sure that the referee's going to let them play that type of aggressive type of basketball, because they was blowing the whistle early in the first quarter.
Central York with 4 fouls the second half. Cumberland Valley 2. CV right now being patient offensively.
And with CV being patient with the ball and trying to burn clock, you would think maybe that Central York should go into a zone, go into a man, because they can find those spots, and they're not even looking to score. There's a block.
Gittinger with the rebound and the block, and now Brooklyn Nace, the freshman for Central York, brings the ball up court. The kick out, Brooklyn Nace, and drains it.
And they call it travel.
Wow. As they made the call on a travel.
There's a such thing as a gather step. Don't know if the referee agreed with that. With the gather step, it looked like a gather step to me before he shot the ball. But nonetheless, that was a call by the referee, which negates that 3 points.
Now CV kind of playing a bit of keep away right now.
That's what they're going to do.
Central's defense as the clock continues to tick.
And there's openings for Cumberland Valley. Just so happened that was a bad pass, but there's some openings for Cumberland Valley. I don't know, Ty. It looks like there's another student body here. I'm not sure if that's Central York or not. Maybe a rival. Maybe a rival of CV. I'm not sure.
They're loud. Nevertheless. CV with the lead, 54-49 right now in the fourth quarter. And those shots have to go in.
They have to.
For Central.
They had their opportunities. And you just got to assume that Cumberland Valley is going to just work and run the clock like they did last time, taking at least 60 seconds off the clock. Central York will probably switch to a man here sometime soon and force their player, you know, to make a play to go to the bucket or, you know, try to get a turnover. It looks like they are in man now.
Man-to-man, as you called it, Dew. Nolan Gilbert with the bucket.
And just get beat off the play.
23 points for Nolan Gilbert for CV. Leads all scorers tonight.
Nice entry pass. Spins out.
And a matter of who wants it more.
And it's been like that.
J.D. Hunter.
It's been like that throughout the game. Who wants it more? That's a great move from Ben Natal. Brings it right back to him. And there's a timeout.
Timeout with 4:16 to go here in regulation. Your scorer, Cumberland Valley 58, Central York 51, and it's been everything we've expected here, Dew, tonight from the Dome in Cumberland Valley.
Yeah, it's been an action-packed game, a loud crowd. There's a lot of people here. This is one of those gyms that you love to be in.
For a basketball game, yeah, there's several in our region and area. You mentioned the Geigel Complex in Reading, another fantastic venue.
I also want to let the fans know this is the #2 team, 6A team in the district.
District 3.
Cumberland Valley.
Yep. Right behind
Eagles.
Reading, who's undefeated at 19-0. And
then you have York High in there at #5. Central at #6.
So a lot of these teams could be seeing one another in district play.
It's going to be a Cumberland Valley. They're doing a good job of just hustling, going after it, and making those hustle plays. And like you said, Todd, it comes down to who wants it more.
And right now, from my vantage point here in the broadcast booth, it would lean towards Cumberland Valley. And the difference maker has been Nolan Gilbert, number 14 for Cumberland Valley.
Very strong so far in this game.
Ben Natal now hits double digits with 10 points. Cuts into CV's lead, 6 points.
And that's a nice drive to the bucket. Nothing coming, and they're running.
And a kick out, getting her. And again, a nice hustle by Terriel Oganite.
This possession here is very crucial. Central York down by 6 points. They have pretty much their starting 5 out there right now.
And they may be in for the final 4 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
They got to get a good quality shot out of this play here. Want to get the ball out the corner, keep swinging the ball, keep swinging the ball.
Baseline, Ben Natal goes to the net, and the put in for Ben Natal.
And Ben ran that line and found something out of nothing. Pulls Central York within 4 points with a little less than 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
CV's had the lead after second and third quarter, and heading into the fourth quarter, we'll see if Central has what it takes tonight.
And there's a foul called against Greg Gittinger. Got to be careful. Don't want to go into the bonus and give them some free points.
Gittinger's second foul in tonight's game.
And you can see Central York is back into that man-to-man.
Forcing CV's offense to kind of speed things up a little bit and get a shot off. A drive to the bucket, a nice pass and put in. Who else? Nolan Gilbert. 25 points for Nolan Gilbert. Ben Rill.
And that's just a tough shot from Ben Rill. Just put it right over his shoulder, and he nailed it. Still only a 4-point game.
16 points now for the sophomore Ben Rill Central.
And this game's gonna come down to a couple plays, couple crucial plays. Centric has to stay home when Cumberland Valley likes to drive. Just stay home. And they're content with just burning some clock,
Yeah,
as they have done pretty much in this whole fourth quarter. And that's 2 fouls pretty much back-to-back on Greg Gittinger. And he's pleading his case with the referee.
It's Greg's 3rd foul in tonight's game with 2:14 remaining.
And you got to understand the team that's down is going to be a little bit more physical. They're going to be more aggressive. And I think the referees know that as well, and they're calling a quick whistle.
It's J.D. Hunter now with the ball with just over 2 minutes to go, matched up with Matthew Parker.
J.D. Hunter is having a really good game as well. And this is the time you just got to make plays on the ball. You got to make a play on the ball. Go for it still, like Ben Natal just did. And they're looking for a 5. And there's a timeout call, not the 5-second call that Coach Hoke wanted.
But a timeout with 1:43 remaining. Cumberland Valley with a 4-point lead, 60-56 right now on Sports Shooting Stars. Mentioning the leading scorer for Cumberland Valley, Nolan Gilbert, 25 points. And for Central York, both Greg Gittinger and Ben Rill each have 16 points. Again, want to remind the fans that we'll be back on the air tomorrow night as we make our way to West York as they'll play host to the new Oxford Colonials. Hope to tune in. Hope to see you there at the game tomorrow night, or tune in to Sports Shooting Stars as we bring the game to you. A little Friday night basketball with Sports Shooting Stars. It'll be CV's possession here coming off the timeout. And a steal, Gittinger with the dunk. Making things exciting here a little bit now.
And it's a 2-point game.
2-point lead by CV, and you see a little bit of the press now by CV. We'll see how CV responds to the press here by Central York.
That was a nice press, nice steal.
Timeout called by Cumberland Valley head coach Dave Vespignani with 1:18 to go.
As you can see, the cheerleaders doing their thing.
Doing their thing here
for Cumberland
entertaining
Valley.
The crowd here at the Dome, and our first broadcast here from the Dome, and I hope it's not our last broadcast.
Absolutely.
I hope we're invited back here to call a game, particularly if it's one of the YAIAA teams taking on Cumberland Valley here. A great venue, and you have the chance to come out if you're in the region and area sometime to check out a game here at the Dome. Well worth the watch here. It's one of the fine basketball gymnasiums on the high school level in our region. Coming off the timeout, CV with the possession.
And that's another quick foul.
Quick foul, Ben Natal.
And you just wonder, as I've been saying, are you going to let them play, or are you just going to, call these quick fouls, knowing that they're going to the bonus?
Well, it's going to send Nolan Bazalka, who has 9 points in tonight's game, to the charity stripe.
Having a good night so far. Knocks down the first.
Hits double digits with 10 points.
Big time player so far for the Eagles.
This is a big shot off the rim.
And it's only a 3-point game. And that's what Centric likes to do, is shoot threes. So you just imagine what's going to happen next.
The kick out. Brooklyn Nace thought about it. Now with the ball. Natal down low. Off the rim. Ooh, and hard. It's getting kind of feisty down there on the hardwood floor as J.D. Hunter hit the hardwood hard.
And Coach Oak wants to take a timeout.
Timeout call with 51.1 seconds to go.
I think he's going to burn as much time he can off the clock and try to get a three-point shot.
And potentially maybe some bonus basketball here.
Yeah.
From the hood, as you can hear the student section in Cumberland Valley making their presence felt as the sixth man here.
As you can see, a little live action from the dome. You can also see that foul discrepancy as well, as we talked about in the first half. It was a 5-10.
And second half now,
it's a
Central
3-7.
with 7, Cumberland Valley 3.
You know, in close games like this, you never want to talk about the fouls and things like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you look at close games like this, they do play a factor to a certain degree, especially for a team that's on the road, you know, trying to fight to get back into the game. And they're going to set something up for Greg Gittinger, if I'm not mistaken. Their best three-point shooter. Ben Natal can knock it down as well. Ryan Brown Jr. is also a three-point shooter. Brooklyn Nace can knock it down as well, but I think they're going to go to their junior and Greg Gittinger. And he's ready for it. He's ready.
Already with 18 points. Central's possession with 51.1 seconds to go here in regulation.
And it comes down to this. No turnover for Central York, and I think they're in a good situation. They're taking their time. As I said, they want to burn some time off the clock and get Greg Gittinger the ball, which they do have. He's a good one-on-one player. Gets his space. Kick out to Brooklyn Nace.
Kick out to Brooklyn Nace. Shot blocked. Picked up by Ben Natal. Baseline, Ben Natal goes to the net. And what a move by Ben Natal.
Gutsy heads-up play.
And now cuts into the lead by 1 point. CV now. Down low. Who else but Nolan Gilbert. 3-point lead. Gilbert with 27 points. Timeout called by head coach Jeff Hope with 13.2 seconds to go.
And that's just how Cumberland Valley.
3-point lead, 63-60. Go ahead, Bill.
And if you watch this full game, that's just how Cumberland Valley been getting their points. Just playing straight basketball and hooping. Getting those tough shots as they did just now. And just getting those tip-ins and just hustle points, man. It wasn't a whole lot of offense being ran by Cumberland Valley. Just been tough plays and some keep-aways and some backdoors.
And Nolan Gilbert now sits with 27 points. Leads all scorers in tonight's game. And what a matchup here tonight from the Dome in Cumberland Valley High School. I said it earlier in the broadcast, and what atmosphere here tonight. Rather electric here, and what a game. It's lived up to the billing. Coming off the timeout here, it will be Central's possession.
Again, expect Central to go back to Greg Gittinger.
Well, you mentioned it earlier in their previous possession. A three-point shot would tie things up here. We're 14.5 seconds to go. We'll see what Central brings offensively. Gittinger with the ball. And a trap set and a steal. And a scramble for the ball. 9.3 seconds to go.
And the tough thing about that play is that the whole gym, but I'm not saying the whole gym, at least Cumberland Valley knew the ball was going to go to Greg Gittinger.
Let's go.
Very tough play.
And this is big free throw shots here.
There's a timeout with 7 seconds to go.
7 seconds to go. And that free throw shot was a big shot there, Had Toriel made it, may have sealed the deal, but right now this door's still left open for Central with 7 seconds remaining.
And they just made another timeout. I'm sorry, Coach Hope called another timeout. He's going to run another play, but he also inserted Ryan Brown Jr. into the game. One of their better three-point shooters as well. Only a freshman, but he's knocked down some big shots for them.
He has. And that game that we broadcasted at York High had kind of ice in his veins there when the free throw shots. Ryan Brown Jr. tonight with 5 points. Gettinger leaves all Central York scores with 18 points, followed by Ben Rill with 16 points.
And this is a tough place to be in, a tough situation to be in.
Well, this atmosphere is incredible.
My mic was off for a second, but checking in the game right now is Ryan Brown Jr. With 7 seconds to go, hit a couple of big-time threes for him throughout the season. But it's a tough situation for Coach Hoke to be in because what do? You take the quick 2 points or you waste 7 seconds and try to get the best three-point play. Key for Central York is not to have no turnovers. Maybe draw a foul if they can, but they had this opportunity. And you can see Cumberland Valley in full court.
Full court press here. Ben Natal with the ball.
And they're going to foul as much as possible so Central York doesn't get a shot up. The foul discrepancy has been somewhat in question. 5 to 10 in the first half, 4 to 8 in the second half. And they're going to foul. They're going to foul again.
Brooklyn Nace now the inbound passer to Ryan Brown Jr. Brown now brings the ball up court to give to Gettinger.
And they shooting a three.
And now he was the three-point land.
And they're not going to give that play to him, which was pretty much the situation for most of the night here.
2 seconds to go here from the dome. Natal's shot comes up short. And your final score, Cumberland Valley 63, Central 60.
And that's a tough one to lose, but they play really hard, away on the court here at Cumberland Valley. Like I said, you're looking at the fouls as well on both halves. You kind of question that a little bit. I know some people want to see that foul called against Greg Gettinger going up. Yes, he went down to the floor, but they did not call that foul. But again, it was a great matchup. 2 teams that went straight at it. Cumberland Valley's ranked number 2 in districts. Central York at number 6. I don't think anything's going to change in district rankings. I think they're going to stay the same. This is a tough game.
Tough game.
Hey, but a great win for Cumberland Valley. They did a great job. They did exactly what they wanted to do. They play hard knocks, football. I'm sorry, basketball.
The hard court here. It's basketball tonight. And what an effort by Cumberland Valley. Nolan Gilbert, unofficially 27 points, and was the real difference maker in this game tonight. A lot of shots, and that hook shot that he had was the difference for the Eagles tonight. Again, the final score, Cumberland Valley 63, Central York 60.
And we want the fans to tune in and also stick around for our Player of the Game nominations. And we want you to give us who you believe should be Player of the Game as well. I know Nolan Gilbert with, I believe, 27 points.
Unofficially, 27 points. Phenomenal effort. As a teammate, J.D. Hunter had 17 points, followed by Nolan Bazolka, who had 10 points. And what an effort for Central York. Well, Greg Gettinger, unofficially 18 points, followed by Ben Rills, 16 points, leading scorer. Ben Natal with 14 points in the losing effort here tonight. But Cumberland Valley with the big win, and I have a feeling we're going to see both of these teams potentially in district play do, and who knows what will happen down the road when these 2 teams could potentially meet in districts. But county champion, the final regular season game for Central York will be at home tomorrow as they'll play host to the Northeastern Bobcats, and then we'll get ready to change the gears a little bit towards county playoffs next week as sports shooting.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the counties. Next week the playoffs, YIAA. You'll see teams from Division I, Division II, and also Division III battle it out. And like we've been saying the whole year long, it's wide open field in the YIAA as far as who's the best team in the county. A lot of teams are more focused on going to districts, so I think that's a big deal as well. And this is a nice little preview of, what you can expect, at the district level and playing in a
playoff basketball.
Playoff basketball,
yeah,
absolutely.
That's really what we saw here tonight, and what a matchup. Thankful that we were able to take the trip up 83 and be part of it here at the Dome.
Want to thank the CV fans for tuning in tonight. Also want to thank the AD at Cumberland Valley for allowing us to come in to film this game. We know we had a lot of views. We appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight as well that couldn't make it to the game.
Well, it was a main event matchup tonight, and it really lived up to its billing here with the Cumberland Valley Eagles with the 3-point win over Central York. I want to remind the fans that are tuned in tonight, you want more of Sports Shooting Stars? We'll be back on the air tomorrow night as we travel to West York as they play host to the New Oxford Colonials. Our final regular season game tomorrow night, a little Friday basketball, and looking forward to another broadcast, our third broadcast of the week.
Yeah, 3 in a row, back to back to back, and if West York wins that game, they win the Division II crown as far as the best team in Division II. So shout out to West York. They have a great chance of winning it, but they also have New Oxford. New Oxford's coming in hot.
No slouch. They're no slouch.
We filmed 2 of their games.
Yes.
So far this year. They're hot right now. They had the Holmes brothers who are really putting up some great points. Brennan and also Brody Holmes. So, they're not going to go down without a fight. Nope. And going to West York is always tough to win there. But you can't count out New Oxford.
No doubt about it. A big matchup to close out Sports Shooting Stars regular season portion of the schedule tomorrow night on senior night, what will be senior night for West York.
And the fans have to tune in and go to Sports Shooting Stars Facebook page, also our Instagram. But once the playoffs start, you have to tune in and see which games we're going to be featuring. I know we're doing a county championship with the boys and the girls. I believe we're doing the semifinals as well with the boys and the girls. But tune in and we'll let you know as the season develops, because
and follow us, continue to follow us on Facebook, Instagram for the latest updates with Sports Shooting Stars and our broadcast schedule.
Fans can tune in, stick around for a few more minutes. We're going to go ahead and have an interview with Nolan Gilbert, who had 27 points, really the man in the middle.
Yeah, we hope to
did a lot of things for his team.
Obtain an interview here. Sometimes it's challenging to get down from the broadcast booth and then.
At Thornton Automotive's 6 locations in Manchester, Dover, East York, and Red Lion, our customer appreciation sales event is going on now. At Thornton Automotive, we understand you have a lot of choices for your automotive needs, and we invite you to come in and see why we're York County's fastest growing auto group. You want to drive home happy with over 700 new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs?
You got it.
You want huge clearance savings with no money down and low payments?
You got it.
Then shop online 24/7 at Thornton247.com.
This stuff comes in more handy because.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, because if we don't have this stuff, then we have to go out and buy it.
Okay.
And whenever we get an excess, we just give it to our vets that come pick up food for the military share.
All right, we just pulled back into Thornton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram after a long day. We were able to fill a truck bed for Mr. Sandy's. It's going to go a long way for them. We really appreciate everybody that was able to donate this year.
Todd Edwards making his way back onto the hardwood floor, well, with our player of the game, and what an impact player, Nolan Gilbert, unofficially 27 points. Nolan, was that a career high for you this evening?
It was a career high for me this evening. That was.
How does it feel to walk away with a big win? I mean, this Central York team, no slouch, and you know they're in the District 3 6A bracket with you sitting at number 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge win. We definitely needed that one tonight. We had a big game on Tuesday against Central Dauphin, and after that win, we just needed to carry our energy into this one, and that's what happened tonight. So it was a huge win for us.
I know you had a couple injuries, you know, and tonight you step up in a big way. Welcome. I mean, career high, Nolan Gilbert, a big win tonight against the Central York team.
Yeah, Nolan Gilbert. I want to introduce myself. My name is Dew Jones. We run Sports Shooting Stars. We film live high school, basketball, football, all types of athletics, man. We're very privileged to come up here and watch you guys, and plus play in the dome, man. It was a really good game. You know, this work, and what was the game plan coming in, you know, going against a team like Central York, knowing, you know, the guys they had and what you have to offer?
I mean, they're a very, very, very talented team. They have some guys that stepped up and made plays, but we just need our energy. We knew we needed to stick together, and that was our game plan. We just got to get stopped and make big plays and keep our heads up on every play. So.
Well, and I noticed that hook shot a la Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah, that was a classic.
Is that something you throw out often?
I mean, my go-to move is just backing someone down, giving them a little fake and going up with my left. But, I mean, I just had to pull that one out the one time. I saw the opportunity, so, yeah.
No doubt about it. Well, congratulations on the win. You're our player of the game here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, one thing I want to add too, man, what I noticed you guys were doing, you were just playing basketball. You were just hooping. Sometimes you just got to put the ball in the bucket, and that's exactly how you played the game, man. And that's why you had 27 points. And that's the adrenaline and the energy you need going into the district. So I think it was a great game to show what you can do out there in the court, man.
Well, we'll be seeing this Cumberland Valley Eagle team here, led by Nolan Gilbert, I'm sure, in district play. Congratulations on the win. And we have a special gift for you tonight.
That's a player of the game shirt.
A player of the game right there.
We're live on TV now.
We're live on TV. Would you like to say hello or hi to anybody that may be watching tonight? Go ahead.
Hello to everyone. Thank you for watching. Big game tonight, and glad we got the win.
Also a mask for you there too, man. Brand new mask as well.
Nolan Gilbert with the big win tonight, 27 points.
And we'll follow you on Instagram and, you know, whatever else you're on. Follow us on Sports Shooting Stars. Great job tonight, man.
Congratulations.
Way to work. Great job, man. See you later, man. See you later. Yep. Great job.
Have a good night. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight with our player of the game, Nolan Gilbert. And, Dew, it was another great game, great broadcast.
It was a great broadcast. Like I said, you know, Nolan came out here, 27 points, really got it off the muscle. He earned it, you know, and he needed every single point of that to win this game. Cumberland Valley, great team. Shout out to the Eagles. Great atmosphere. We're in the dome. We'll be back here soon. If you look around, you see all the district championships they have and various sports. It's a great school to be at.
Wall of Fame over there, just an incredible facility. I can't wait to be back here again for a future broadcast.
Yep.
But in the interim, we'll be back tomorrow night at West York as he'll play host to New Oxford. So looking forward to that. Please tune in tomorrow night.
All right, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you soon tomorrow night. Sports Shooting Stars. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.